Welcome everyone to Pachamama's Thanksgiving. I'm Anna Estrada of the Quantum Light Practice, and this is our virtual goddess channeling and alignment circle. So welcome everyone. It's such an honor to be with you and to create this beautiful sacred container to offer our gratitude and our blessings to our beloved Gaia in her sacred expression of Pachamama. And as you can see behind me, we'll be journeying shamanically to the sacred valley of Peru. And this region is located in between the colonial city of Cusco, which was also the capital of the Inca Empire, and in the 1500s was the height of their power. And so the Sacred Valley lies between Cusco and Machu Picchu, which is this phenomenal sacred site that is very powerful. And but here in the Sacred Valley is where there are also many sacred places for us to experience this vibration of Pachamama. And here is where there's so many, through the centuries, so many rituals have been done that have to do with the cycles of nature, the agricultural calendar of the people, and this experience and tradition of reciprocity with Mother Earth. So in this culture, there is great, great respect for Mother Earth. And it's a very beautiful tradition to experience today. It's very active today. Everything that's done with the earth, there is ritual that is done to offer thanks, to offer prayers, to offer blessings. So there's this very visceral engagement with and interconnectedness, interdependency with the earth. So there's that awareness, it's a consciousness that of this relationship, reciprocal relationship with the earth. So take a deep breath, because we're going to really tap into that vibration, tap into that tradition of and centuries of ritual and prayer and blessings and respect for the earth in this virtual pilgrimage. So let's just take a deep breath. And as you close your eyes, become aware of this inner quantum field, the inner field inside of you. And as you focus on the inner field, you start to feel that stillness. You start to feel that connection with this inner presence, this divine presence that's inside of you. And that presence is what journeys through the different dimensions that we have access to as multi-dimensional beings of light. So in this circle, we practice what it is to experience ourselves as multi-dimensional beings of light. So that's the purpose of this circle. And to support us in the paradigm shift that occurs in the ascension process that many of us, you know, you're on that ascension path if you're here in this circle. So, and we're moving from frequencies of separation into unity consciousness. And that is a process where we go through very specific purification processes as we expand. So again, take a deep breath and just receive that information into your heart, knowing that you are here, you are safe, you are being guided, you're being supported by the earth. and you're being guided by your own higher self, the divinity that is inside of you. Take a deep breath. And breathe out. And this particular transmission is fully supported by the cosmos because we are in a season of Scorpio. And this is a very inward, internal vibration that we're all experiencing right now. We also recently had a lunar eclipse, and the lunar eclipse is all about illuminating inside of us that which has been hidden, that which we've been unconscious to. And then we have the Taurus full moon, and that the full moon is always like this culmination of all that's occurred in this particular lunar cycle. And it's like the fruit. It's like everything coming into wholeness, into fullness. So we have these different energies that we've been working with, and I'm sure that many of us have been experiencing purification, and in our expansion, that which has been hidden is revealed, and we now have the tools, and we have the container, and we have the support to face what it is we need to face, to see what it is we need to see, acknowledge what the truth of who we are inside, and allow it to be and allow it to shift. Okay, so the purpose of the purification work, many times we'll see things that in our ancestry, in our, just very deep patterns of disempowerment, for example. And the purpose is to bring awareness to these patterns, not to rehash, not to analyze, not because we've already done that. We all know how to do that. We all know how to have regret. We all know how to feel guilty, and we should have, and we could have, so we've been through that. Now what we're doing is transmuting those energies, allowing those energies to be included into the oneness and into the Akasha. And then we're activating new frequencies of light, energy streams that are nourishing and supportive, that are complementing and accelerating our mission, our purpose as beings of light incarnate at this time of global transformation, with the capacity to hold space, to assist, to contribute to the expansion of consciousness. And we do this by coming into alignment, deeper and deeper alignment with our own divine self, with the beloved Gaia, the planet, the living, breathing entity that we inhabit, and coming into alignment with the cosmos, the Christ consciousness, the inner divinity, the awareness of this inner divinity and inner intelligence that guides us inside of us. And so that's what we focus on. No matter what's happening in the outer world, no matter what chaos, no matter what disturbance, we, as beings of light incarnate, warriors of the light, our job, our mission is to focus on that alignment. And that is the union with the inner divine self. So take a deep breath. So it's easy, it's simple. We come into alignment. That is how we face everything that is occurring inside of us. And that is how we transform the environment around us. It's a very natural process. So take a deep breath. And then breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we're going to begin with this prayer to our beloved Gaia, to Pachamama, this sacred expression of Gaia. To Pachamama, if I, my family, my relatives, my ancestors have offended you in any way, consciously or unconsciously, in thoughts, words, deeds, and action, from the beginning of our creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Breathe that in, acknowledging anything that has occurred, consciously or unconsciously, in our individual lives, in our ancestry, in our DNA as a human species, anything that has offended or damaged in any way, we ask forgiveness. Let this transmission cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies, and vibrations, and transmute these lower frequencies into pure light. Breathe that in. Letting go. Take a deep breath in. And then let go. And one more time, deep breath in. And release. And now, put your attention, again, in the inner quantum field. We're going to focus on the area of your body that is the root chakra, the base of the spine. And you may already be feeling this earth vibration rising up from the core of the earth and entering into the root chakra. And just be aware, create a line of energy from the base of your spine that moves through all the layers, descends through all the layers of the earth to the heart of Gaia, the earth's core. And offering our blessings as we enter into this heart of Gaia. Offering gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us and nourishing us, Pachamama. Thank you for all your bounty, all the goodness, all the divine nourishment that we receive from you. And then receive her welcome. She's welcoming you, smiling with you, and you can feel that smile in your heart. And this beautiful golden light is rising up from the core of the earth. This golden light rising through all the layers of the earth into your body, coming up through the soles of your feet. And you want to keep your spine very straight so that the energy can move freely up and down the spine through all the energy centers of the body. And this energy rises into the root chakra, and and take deep breaths. If you feel any kind of dizziness or any kind of any kind of feeling of unease, take deep breaths. Just take deep breaths because this energy is very powerful today. So we're really going to work on our grounding. So breathe and connect to the core of the earth. We're just going to take a few moments to do this. I'm receiving a light language transmission to calibrate our container. And you just follow the sound and breathe. And this is going to settle your system and allow a deeper grounding and a deeper connection with the earth. Ai kini nai hi so no ho no ho no ai so no ho ni shini ho no ai ni sini shini kuru ho no ai ni no ai so hoi ai ni shino nai. And it's a primordial vibration of Earth Mother coming forth. And there's like this vibration of honoring the earth through this presence inside of you, surrendering to that divine presence within you. And this is how we come into alignment with Gaia, is through surrender to this divinity within, inside of you. Hono shono hono aha nai 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 sanai shono 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 aha nai nai. So many of us are focused on the restrictions in the outer world, shani ini shiniki, but take this as the most powerful opportunity to come into this alignment with the inner divinity, to surrender to the inner divinity, to focus on the inner divinity. Move your attention from the disturbance of the outer world into the core of your own being, and receive strength, receive clarity, receive the abundance of the earth that supports you and honors you. Honoring your own physicality, and coming into balance with between your physical nature and your divine nature. So there is no separation between your physical nature and your divine nature. So take a deep breath, take a deep breath. Sono shunoko ha nai siniki. And again, receiving a blessing from the core of the earth. And this frequency is a diamond white light coming forth. And just allow your body to receive if you choose, because you always can choose to receive or not receive, is your choice. This diamond white frequency of clarity, discernment, and this capacity to choose the dimension that you will reside in at any moment. Gaia vibrates in different dimensions. So here's your opportunity to vibrate in the ascended frequency of Gaia. And we choose, we make the intention, I choose to vibrate in the dimension of the ascended Gaia. And again, be aware of your grounding and your connection to the ascended frequency of Gaia. And the sacred site of the Temple of the Sun in Pisac. And Pisac is a sacred place. It's a town in the Sacred Valley, and in this town is built or around a sacred temple site that is in the mountain. And in this mountain, there is a temple of the sun. So we're bringing forth, connecting with this frequency of light, temple of the sun, and the divine codes that are coming forth through the sun, the central sun, the divine codes. So be aware of these codes coming forth. Again, if you choose to receive in through the crown of the head, a column of light. Coming in through the crown of the head, and this beautiful golden light, this ascended frequency of the cosmos, is entering into the brain, into the physical organ of the brain, to up-level all the cells of the brain. Infusing all the neural pathways of the brain with this golden light and this frequency of ascension. And it is also moving through the throat area. So just allowing yourself to receive this purification of the throat, of your communication, your multidimensional communication, your capacity, your ability to communicate with beings of light in the upper world. So we're connecting with the upper world. Again, the ascended frequency of light. And this is where ascended masters and goddesses and all the beings that are guides are vibrating in this upper world. And so we're receiving an attunement to be able to communicate multidimensionally with these beings of light. So take a deep breath and receive this. So visualize a sphere of light, a beautiful sphere of golden light pulsating above the crown of the head. And this is this new frequency of creative expression pulsating. And this is a gift that you're receiving from the Temple of the Sun in Pisac. And allowing the sphere of light to descend in through the crown of the head, into the inner quantum field, into your heart. And this sphere of light is soothing and softening some of the healing processes that have been occurring recently inside of you. And this has to do with polarities coming into balance. And so for you, focus on that which has been coming up for you individually, personally. And you can call that forth. It could be a pattern. It could be a wounding that is processing inside of you. It can be an activation of a divine gift. Whatever it is that is coming forth for you inside of you personally, allow it to come forth, allow it to be revealed here in the heart as you receive this blessing from the Temple of the Sun. You are offering this to this light. If there is anything that has come forth where you experience regret, where you experience maybe a feeling of abandonment, that you were in a situation where you were not supported or you were not guided, where you felt confusion, where you felt despair, any of these kinds of frequencies. These are obstructions to our inner union. So just gently allowing those frequencies to come forth in this container of light. And we offer those energies to this inner temple of light, this inner altar. We surrender. We're no longer trying to figure out who's to blame. We're no longer trying to figure out what we did wrong. We're no longer trying to figure out how we inherited the pattern from the ancestors and how it affected us and how, all of these things. This has been very, very important to bring awareness, but now it's time to offer it to the fire, offer it to the sacred altar. Complete the pattern in surrender. And in this way, we're emptying ourselves of stories, of false identities about ourselves, of perceptions of ourselves that are distorted. We are choosing to let go of the story. We see it, we face it, we feel it, And then we offer it to the fire. We offer it to the altar. When is that time? When is that moment where there's a pattern, emotional pattern or mental pattern? If this hadn't happened, I would be doing this. If I hadn't made that mistake, if I hadn't, connected with that person who betrayed me, I would not be where I am now. If I hadn't been raised in this environment, I would feel better about myself and I would be stronger. All of these kinds of patterns. Again, it has been important to see and acknowledge. And now we are choosing to go beyond the story, to go beyond the mind and receive Pachamama's blessing, restoration, divine restoration. We learned each of those experiences were learning experiences where we learned more about ourselves, where we unraveled certain tendencies that we may have inherited, where we learned, we made a mistake and we learned to have compassion for ourselves and others. The time that we lost something that was very important to us. And we have regrets about our part, our contribution in that loss. So we're being guided, it's being suggested to us now in this moment to offer it all to the fire, to offer the story to the fire and claim your sovereign divinity in this incarnation as a being of light. Sanai nai shinokurua. Sanai nai shinokuru haene seneke shikochukurua. Creating space. The emptying of the story. You are not the story. So many of us have come into this work in the vibration of the wounded healer. There was a wounding that occurred. And there's that beautiful poem of, that the heartbreak creates the opening where the light can enter. It's a beautiful Rumi poem. The wound is the opening where the light enters. And many of us have had this beautiful experience of the dark night. And we've experienced that and we've learned from that and we know from that. The wounded healer dies in service to the light. That part of us is that wounded part of us is dying in the light. And in this transmission from this day forth, we are experiencing divine restoration. We are being offered divine restoration. Hakini, chikini, chiku, chikuaha. claiming your birthright of sovereignty, where you will live in service. It's an energy of that, you know, that you are a queen, you are a king inside of you. You are sovereign. Hakini chiniki chakorwa. Claiming your inheritance as children of the light, Pachamama's children of the light. This receiving light language transmission from Pachamama. Sono, you are my children of the light. Sanai nai kini chano sono shunoko sono aha. Receive my blessings. Sono shunoko shoka nai. Sanai shanako sonoko aha nai. Ishkara hei chike soko no sono ha nai. Shanako sono ha nai nai sono shunoko sono aha nai. Shanai inai no no onai shana sonoko hai nai nai shinaki nai nai, with your roots firmly anchored, deeply anchored into my heart, and your branches receiving the light, the cosmic light, shana no ha, and receiving the creative power in your heart. Sokoaha, to create your new world, solutionokoaha, in alignment. Sokoaha, nai shinikis, with your own divine expression. Receiving all the nourishment and all the resources. Sokoaha, nai shinikishanoko, sokoaha. As my children of the light. Sanai nai nai chinakoro sonokoro ha. Sono shinako ha. Leave the past behind. Shanakoro ha. Sonokoro hono ha. Nai nai shinako sono ha. There is no story. There is no story. We start fresh in the light. The 0 point. Empty. Shako no ha nai nai. Sono ha nai nai. A pure vessel. Soko no to transmit. Soko ha nai nai shinaki shinako. The ascended frequency of light in the world around you. Soko shinako ha nai nai shinaki shinako. You're each planted in your unique place on the planet. And with your alignment, transmitting the frequencies of ascension into the environment all around you. And in this way, you nourish others. Sono, shono, sonoa, shono, shonoa, ha, nai. Shonoko, with my light, shoko no ha nai, with my divine nourishment, shoko shono ha nai sonoko, restoring balance. Where chaos has moved through to cleanse, to purify, to bring alignment, to bring balance, restoring, nourishing, receiving. Can you let go of the story? of being controlled, of being manipulated, of suffering. Can you let go of the story and receive the full expression of the new earth? You must choose. Choose. Divine restoration. Kini aini kini 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 kishikono haini sinike shikichiko surko hai nai nai chinakana nai nai. And there is a vibration, Syrian star beings coming forth. And this is a vibration of creative expression, of art, of language, of sound, frequencies of sound. And these are codes that are activating these forms of expression inside of you, these forms of communication, and engaging with the world around you in a very, very high frequency of light that comes through art, that comes through movement, that comes through sound. Beyond the mind. And again, letting go of the patterns of the mind to figure out what's wrong, to figure out who's doing what, to figure out why is this happening, to figure out how do I control the chaos, letting go and receiving these new frequencies of light that activate your art, your expression, your sound, your essence, receiving your essence. So which dimension will you choose? You now have access to these dimensions of very high frequencies of creative expression in your everyday life. But you must choose. Because the habit is so strong to go into the mind. So it's very important at this time to have a spiritual practice, again, of alignment with the earth, alignment with the heart, alignment with the cosmic light. So it's like when the mind goes into those places, and you can feel it right away as the frequency descends in a way. Immediately go into alignment. So this is a powerful energy practice that we're receiving in this circle, very practical, to move from the mind into the heart, and become more deeply embodied in your divine essence, and to receive this divine restoration. This emptying, so we're emptying and then receiving restoration. And again, be aware of your grounding. Hani nei chinakini chinku chaka a chike chakat a nai. Again, another wave of Syrian light coming forth in through the crown of the head. Hane shinakishako shwaha nai. Sonoko aha. And then receiving the codes from the temple of the sun. Hashane shinako shwaha nai sinaki. Activating the capacity to choose divine restoration. Shinakini shinakei shinaki shinako. And the capacity, the awareness to let go of the wounding as part of your identity, and then choosing to identify with the light, with your divine essence. Divine restoration. And just allowing this this beautiful gift, this beautiful blessing, Pachamama's blessing, to integrate inside of you. And you'll continue to experience this integration. And you'll continue to process as a beautiful gift. You'll receive this divine nourishment. You'll receive support as you are integrating and receiving. And we'll complete this transmission in receiving this beautiful prayer, which is a mantra of divine restoration. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And this prayer is being offered as a mantra. Whenever the mind goes into the story, we'll call forth this prayer of divine restoration. The Ho'oponopono prayer. So coming forth as medicine from the earth. I'm sorry. I can see my part. Please forgive me. Surrender to the inner presence. I love you. Opening the heart to receive. Thank you. Offering gratitude to everyone that has come before us and everyone that will come after us. Offering gratitude to Gaia, offering gratitude to the cosmos, to the universe. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Align with the divinity that is you.